What's going on, Dragonballers? It's your boy Alex, TCG Discussions, coming at you with a Banlist discussion. And oh my lordy lord, they did it. Bandai finally did it. And when I said they did it, they finally did a ban list right all the way to the end. I can't express enough how, one, proud I am for this ban list, but two, oh man, I hope they're watching my content, because some of these cards on this ban list are hot takes that I believe for a long time need to be addressed in the game, and thank God they finally did something about it. So we're going to get into it. We're going to do a quick ban list walkthrough of what went down, and then I'm going to do individual videos. I already did one about Gogeta Xeno, but I think I'm going to redo that one and talk about how decks are affected and what you can use going forward. Especially because some of these cards are not just used in the decks that you think they would be typically used for. So, starting off with ban number 1, Fighting Against Fate. Get out of here. We done. No more tapping out, defending well, down to the last card in your dang hand, fighting against fate. I'm tired of it. Thank God, get up on out of here. We ain't dealing with it no more. This is ridiculous, okay? This card has needed to be banned for a long time. Back when they talked about addressing free play, I was like, how are you going to allow a 25k dual attacker to exist in the game when you're talking about Dark Brawly free play being stupid? Like, this don't make no sense. At least Dark Brawly, right, needs to warp exactly like 6 cards out of the drop area every time. Now it can just be 6 black battle cards. It can just be anything you want, bro. Like, come on now. This is ridiculous. And the other thing is you can kind of plan for it. You can only play one of those per turn or whatever. Yeah, you can only technically overwhelm once per turn unless you have Wormhole, which we're going to come with the deck profile. I'm going to be breaking some games here pretty soon. But that all being said, I do feel that this is the way, the truth, the life when it comes to getting rid of free play. This card is need to go for a long time. Secret Identity Mass Saiyans next. Thank God, get it out of here. Now, here's the thing. I do love me some Secret ID. I hate Fighting Against Fate. I think it's just a completely unfair card. But Secret ID, I think, is okay because, you know, not every deck has good removal, and this card gives them the option to have that removal. That being said, there is a way more fair version in the thwarting. It costs energy, has to attack the whole 9 yards. So I think that Secret ID, I'm sad to see this one go particularly, but again, it's a free overrun. Like, come on, 6, get rid of the total cost up to 6. And I know all the AOD players are clapping their hands at this ban list. No more getting Secret ID'd and losing 3 cards on my board. Yay! Unadulterated aggression incoming. So I expect AOD to make a lot more of a presence than it has in the past. And I'm sad to see it go, but it makes sense. Next, Marvelous Might. Thank God. Thank God Bandai saw it. Thank God they saw it. I just didn't understand how this wasn't the default ban after Worlds. This should have been the #1 card ban, not thwarting this one. It should have been it should have been the #1 ban. Let me explain something to everybody real quick who hates thwarting, turn 1 thwarting, turn 1 thwarting, turn 1 thwarting, all this other stuff. I get it. A 1-drop, 25k double strike that warps a card is annoying. It's stupid. But here's the thing about that card. You can get rid of that card, okay? They have to have another one or Beyond a Limit set up, which in Gogeta Xeno, which is dead, by the way. You know, thwarting obviously is a problem, right? Like nobody, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not a great card. It's literally one of the best cards ever made. Everyone says it's the best 1-drop. I think that's a little bit debatable, but that's neither here nor there. My point was, after Worlds, right? You had Cell Surge Leader literally getting banned. The deck that won it, Icarus, literally just getting a slap on the wrist, errata. And the deck that got second place, Gogeta Xeno, somehow walked straight out of that room with a couple slaps on the wrist. Like we're going to ban a Trunks that is irrelevant because they're going to play another one. And we're going to give them more support in the next set to play Gogeta Xeno. And then, like, making True Fighting Spirit, like, unique? Oh, we're just all, you know, we're all done after that. No, like, that deck is still going to be was still going to be broken. Okay? And I said at the end of Worlds, if they make a ban list based on what wins Worlds and what tops and what does what Worlds, Marvelous Might needs to be banned. It needs to be banned. You can talk about how good thwarting is all you want. You would be dead wrong to think that the card that doesn't always win in the game is Marvelous Might. 10 out of 10 times. That card, look, it is a 20k card, 6-drop with barrier. The first problem is that it is safe to give them a draw. Green can't touch it, right? You can't charismatic it because, whatever. You can't do anything about the cards it's bringing in because the cards have deflect written on them. And literally, 2 of these cards breaking down in one turn gives you 4 attackers. And if you play Pycon use and a leader, and not including their own effects, they can buff themselves or be buffed to put 4 attack pressures at 15k plus. 2 of which will have deflect. How is that fair? Not to mention, 2 of the cards they will typically play are floodgate effects in the True Fighting Spirits. How's that fair? I don't know, but that's what it does. This card, if it was banned right away, thwarting might not even need to have been hit on this list. They could have probably could have even just outright banned Marvelous Might, killed Gogeta Xeno, and made it way, way worse to play and way more fair, and we wouldn't be seeing it as a problem that it is, okay? Marvelous Might has always been a problem, okay? It's hard to interact with. There's no easy removal for it outside of, a couple select barrier removal cards that either, cost you a lot of energy or are bomb plays anyway. I think Vegeta's, the only one, and, the Vegeta Overwhelm is, the only one, and literally, only black can play that. So it's there's nothing really good for other decks other than in archetype cards like Go Tanks or something like that. So I'm not a fan of what Gogeta Xeno did with its unadulterated aggression because of this card. Literally, if it was just your Union Fusion cards, it would be fine. Union Fusion and Trunks, it would be fine. But not Marvelous Might and then 2 more 1-drops that your leader's just going to take alive, get an extra card, and buff it anyway. It's just been ridiculous. Thank God they banned this card. Thank God. Next, Piano Reign of Terror. They're killing KP. They've finally done that too. They're done with this deck. And here's my thing about KP. Here's really how I feel about it. A lot of people say it's the best red deck in the game. Or was the best red deck in the game. I disagree with that. I think the best red deck is U7 and it's not close. The only way U7 loses a game is if it doesn't see 2 super combos. If it sees 2 super combos in the game, you've pretty much won. I think that literally that deck is literally that good. And we'll talk about Descent of the King here in a second. Don't worry. Your boys got you with the tech. I got your replacement for you right quick. But Piano, being this unadulterated aggression, one, if you're going to address this deck and kill it, I don't think Piano was the way to go. It had to be, not Symbol, Tamarine. I think Tamarine was the way to go. But, it's fine. It's fine. I guess they wanted KP to have some relevance. But this and the limit to Descendant of the King, yeah, that really, really hurt them. Really, really hurt them. I'm fine with it. KP's been around for a while. It's been annoying. But what I will say about KP is it is literally one of the most skill-intensive decks ever made. I get it. It's good. No qualms about it. But, my God, did it take a lot of skill to pilot. You could sit down and cross from a KP player and within 2 turns realize how good they are. Just based on, what they're doing and how easy you're going to have winning this game. So, I don't know. I'm not mad that this deck is gone. And again, a deck that has a whole bunch of free play, but we gotta address Dark Brawly. I'm still on that. You let literally a red deck just run around with a bunch of free negates. It's a 20 double strike blocker. You got a bunch of cards still coming in. You thought a limit to drum was all that it was gonna take. Nah. So This really hurts their advantage. I'm not sure how KP goes from here at maintaining a good hand size and doing its strategy, but I don't think the deck is completely dead after that one hit. I do think the deck is dead after this next one, though. Descendant of the King Unison to 1. Yeah, man. Yes. 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 They finally did something to this godforsaken Unison. You know what? As a guy who plays U7, and as a guy who's enjoyed having Descendant of the King in his deck, that card is still stupid and needs to be banned. It still needs to be banned. This card should not exist even at 1, okay? It is still too broken. Let me explain, okay? In KP, regeneration board wipe, not okay. Secondly, rejuvenate, not regeneration. Secondly, drawing a card, really broken. Third, most important, easily the best Unison effect in the game. Period. I don't care what your opinion is, you're wrong. Sorry to call you out like that. You wrong. A auto that is not once per turn, that blows up every time you're like a 15k or less, every time your opponent activates counter, is stupid. I'm going to repeat that one more time. An auto that blows up anything 15k or less every time your opponent activates counter is stupid. It should not have been like that. It should have either been once per turn, probably not existed at all, going with that one, and we stop there. I am tired of this Unison existing in the game. This Unison has dwarfed every red Unison ever. There is no reason to play any other Unison. Period. Why? Because when you activate counterplay on Yamcha, it takes a 30k down to a 15. If your opponent activates counter for any reason, guess what's going to happen? Cards are going to start blowing up left and right. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't think that this Unison is stupid, watch 2 red U7 players play against each other and watch this Unison absolutely go off. It's going to get stupid. They both have a Unison. One person activates Goku. The other person activates Goku. One person activates Yamcha. The other person activates Yamcha. The attacking player attacks. Someone activates a counter attack. Let me explain what's going to happen here. Yamcha's going to come in and minus 2 cards. Goku's going to come in and minus another card. Okay? Then it's going to blow something up. If the Yamcha and the Goku didn't kill something, okay, which the Goku's probably going to because 30k, it's a lot to not kill something. One, players are going to start drawing cards. Secondly, this Unison is then going to proc, okay? So let me just give you like some business about this, right? Let's say you had 2 battle cards on the board that were 15k, one that was 15k, and then another that was 30k, okay? What's going to happen is this. The 30k is going to die, you're going to draw a card off Goku. The 15k is going to die because of Yamcha, and the 30k also is going to get minus by Yamcha, okay? And then this auto that's impending twice is going to blow up 2 15k cards. Why? Absolutely why? Absolutely why? This is so stupid. Do you understand? This Unison just killed 2 cards for free. For nothing. Didn't do a dang thing. Just sat there. And all this, guess what's going to happen on the clapback? And let's talk about this in a typical red U7 fashion, right? You may have played a turn 1 little Gohan. Opponent might have played 18 or Gohan themselves, got their Unison. You got your Unison. You play your Unison down turn 2. Somehow you got enough cards in there with whatever to awaken. You awoke. You have that 1 energy up. You pass your turn. Your opponent goes into their turn. Does their whole thing. Awakens, right? They have the little Gohan up on board, whole 9 yards. You're going to come in there. They're going to swing. Okay? If you countered at all to stop that attack, guess what happens? Your Gohan's dead. Okay? Then your opponent, instead of, saving the grace for whatever, decides, hey, you want to know what? I'm just going to pass turn after that attack. I ain't going to do nothing. And then you go into your turn, and then you play Frieza. You maybe, better. You played 17 because you know what? You got the cards. You want some more card advantage. You like drawing cards. So you want to draw cards. You want to draw with your leader. You want to go out here and you want to draw 17. And then the only thing that ends up happening is as soon as you go down and play that 17 on activate main, your opponent's going to then activate counterplay 1, Goku. Counterplay window 2, Yamcha. And so what ends up happening is your little Gohan going to die. Your Goku gonna get minus 15. Your Yamcha and then you all start contemplating each other this whole nine yards nonsense. So they go do that. You go to counterplay their Goku. You go to play your Yamcha. I'm gonna do the same thing you just did to me. Okay. So then your 17 is gonna be toast. Your Goku gonna lose a good old whopping 15. Yeah. And then your homeboy flipping what's his face, right? Your Goku gonna lose 15. His owl's gonna go into pending. You're then gonna play your Yamcha and your Goku, and then all your owls are gonna go into pending. Turn player autos all go first. So Goku gonna lose 15. Goku gonna lose 15. Your little Yamcha gonna die. And then guess what's going to happen? Auto pending, Piccolo's going to kill your little Gohan. You just got board wiped for no reason. And you counterplayed him for no reason. And guess what's going to happen to you? Your 17 is going to die. Your Gohan's going to die. Your Goku is going to die. And your Yamcha's going to die. That's how stupid this unison is. That is how stupid this unison is. This unison shouldn't exist. It should not exist. Okay, just imagine if Jiren's minus 10 as the 3-drop unison was not once per turn. That's how stupid this is. I think I've said enough. Okay. Now for the tech. Actually, I'm going to save the tech for the discussion video about it. But I'm going to move on to this little thwarting. My boy Thornton got put to 1. I'm sad to see him put to 1, but you want to know what? 1 feels good. It feels good. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, feels good. I've already done some testing. It's like drawing another SER. It's like having that one overwhelm for the turn. It's like having that one tech, that secret spice that's naughty and nice. You like it. And I'm going to tell you right now, thwarting it really is a problem card, okay? I think that there is a lot of mixed feelings about it from the community because everyone just got access to them. And really, it's a very good black support card. The only thing that, really abused it was Gogeta Xeno. And I think that it's sad to see it go, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So, it is what it is. Next on to some erratas. Bandai. Come on. Really? Really? These erratas. What you doing, Bandai? What you doing out there? This is ridiculous. Okay? Like what? Like what? Like what? What you doing out here? Soul Striker errata back to... Just draw to a 4 less life to awaken? Are you mad? Who hurt you? Why? Why? First off, rest in peace to my boy Brandon. Rest in peace to my boy Ty. Both y'all been playing... Brandon's been playing Soul Striker since Soul Striker. And then SS3 and then Reboot came out. Still back on Soul Striker. And he and I have been working on that deck for months, off and on. But Soul Striker? That's the leader you want to do errata? Not Sin Shenron? To say once per game, tap 6? Not anything else? Can't even think of a broken leader now that probably needs an errata, but it's not getting one. Soul Striker. The deck that hasn't won one event, not one, hasn't won one event in this entire format. I don't even know the last time it topped. I'm pretty sure Blue Baby just topped again. Didn't Android 16 just win a tournament? And you want to hit Soul Striker. Soul Striker's the problem. Okay. All right, Bandai, I see you. Everyone out here complaining that 2 energy and drawing a card is too broken every turn. I get you. Good on you, Bandai. And the reality is this leader is a problem. It just is. Soul Striker does not limit future card design. It breaks future card design. I'm going to change it. Everyone talks about limiting card design. It doesn't limit it. It enhances it. There are very few things that limit card design, okay? An example of a limiting of card design is Secret Identity Mass Saiyan. It limits card design. So long as you want to build a strategy around token attacks, Secret ID will limit the design that deck has access to its kill strategy and, win conditions. But Soul Striker does not limit card design, right? If you want to say, everyone wants to say, well, we can't make it like a card effect because getting 2 energy back would be too broken with this card effect. That's nonsense. You have mono blue energy on here. If that was the case, decks first off, decks that would already get to abuse that effect, that would quote unquote limit the card design, would already be doing it, right? They're already gonna have ways to get around it and do it. But my point is that Soul Striker is the best generic overall blue leader for what it does. And I've talked about this over and over again, okay? It is absolutely silly to draw 3 cards and untap 2 energy when you awaken. And if you don't believe that that's true, you're ridiculous. It's also silly to do that every single turn with Saiyan Instincts, and even more so when you have the Boo Unison. That's literally draw 4 cards and untap 3 energy. You've lost your mind if you don't think that that's ridiculous. And Soul Striker is just one of the best grindy energy manipulation, resource managing leaders ever. And if you think that that's there's only one leader that has ever been better than Soul Striker, any variant, and that is the original SS3 leader. And I will take that to the bank till the cows come home. My point is that Soul Striker is always going to be generically good. There is a lot of arguments to say that if you're playing this strategy in blue, why would you not try Soul Striker first to see if it would be better? And most of the time, those cards are better played in Soul Striker. Boo Unison is better played in Soul Striker than any other deck. I don't care what you say. Because you are going to have 3 energy back to defend yourself with the Boo Unison. It's ridiculous. And obviously blue got hit a little bit. Soul Striker got hit when they banned Fu. But it stands the test of time as being the de facto leader. This is the leader that everybody after the last ban list was calling to be the best leader in the game. And while I am sad for my boys, I completely understand why they decided to go with this errata. That being said, and I guess I'll talk more about this in my impact video for the errata section. I'm not really sure where to go from here. If you want to still play a Soul Striker deck, because now I think the original one there might be an argument for it to be better over this one. Because you untap your Unison at the end of the turn doesn't really matter. You barely do that anyway. But the +5 on the backside at 5 energy, that's actually something to consider. So we'll see. This last one, though. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this last one. Android 17 most valuable player getting errata. On the one hand, it was really strong. And if you watch the VOD with Legends, I believe it's Michael Carrick, if I'm saying that right. It looked really strong. But MVP may not be necessary anymore. Because the number one deck that could do anything about it just got axed straight out of the format. Which means Vegeta might be better to play over 17 because there's no fall off. So let me talk about the errata for a second. You now have to basically like tap 3 energy, and I think it's like 2 blue, or either 2 red and a blue or 2 blue and a red. It's one of those two. To get that effect while it's in the drop. There is an argument to say that they can't do anything about it. So in matchups, particularly against black or green, or any deck for that matter that has insane barrier removal, it'll be problematic. Yellow Trunks can do something about it, but it's really, really roundabout. Like, they'd have to Final Flash the Vegeta and then rest it with another effect. And then swing with Vegeta. You can never attack with the card against Trunks because Vegeta will just get rid of it. Gogeta Xeno easily outed Vegeta because of Fearless Fusion. And then Jiren can minus it. So if you play the Jiren build, Jiren's presence against Jiren's -3 can KO and turn off Invoker. I mean, Vegeta SCR is just going to straight get rid of it anyway. Turn it off that way. I'm really struggling. Barrier of Hope for blue, but with Soul Striker getting hit, that's a really questionable play. Just to turn off Invoker. And it's like, to what end? To a degree. And green has very limited text. Okay, I'm done thinking. All that to say, MVP may not be as necessary anymore. Which completely sucks for the people who just spent like $400 to get their copies. And then to top it off, I could see a combination of now Vegeta and MVP coming into play. Because Vegeta does offer that constant Invoker. And because Gogeta Xeno's hits basically remove it from the format, like, Fearless Fusion cannot be played. It can only be played in like very select good black leaders. Like, it has to be a mono black Saiyan. So I'm thinking SS4 Goku, Dark Brawly, really good by the way. And Black Mask Saiyan. The new Trunks can't do it because he's part Earthling. It's the same reason why the Vegex can't play it, because he's part Earthling. Yeah. And unless they come out with like another Black Saiyan leader, I don't see an easy one energy removal coming for it. I mean, Black still has barrier removal anyway, and SS4 thwarting, and the SS3 Vegeta. Which Hachiak would have answers to it, but Hachiak cannot do anything about 17. The other thing about 17 is it was very cost effective. And that's the question, right? Like, now you have to really wonder. I mean, obviously, getting Invoker is going to be good either way for Invoker, but if you establish Vegeta, you don't have to do it more than once, if that makes sense. So if your opponent doesn't have an immediate answer to the card, then I don't think there's anything really to fear. It does turn off the control aspect early, which feels bad, but fair. So this is where I land. I don't think this was fair this soon. It won one tournament, okay? And if you saw, there's another deck. Oh, yeah, that's a leader that needs to be banned or errated, by the way. Hachiak. Like, please. You want to talk about uninteractive and not fun? Nobody has fun sitting across from that deck. Especially when everything you're getting attacked with either is ridiculously powerful, has gets everything you attack with gets petrified. It's like it just nobody has a fun time playing against Hachiak. I promise you that. I promise you. And so like Bandai, stop fooling yourselves. That leader is also really old. And honestly, I think its effect is far too powerful for the game. It probably should have been errated or banned a long time ago. Like if your opponent had like 5 or less energy or something, then they cannot attack with battle cards or whatever. But I don't know. Sin Shinron still needs to be errated. Either way, my point is that I'm not a fan of MVP being so new of a card. Literally Invoker seeing so little play. Like only like 2 players really play the deck at a high competitive level. And even then, it is a very, very, very chess IQ 3000 brain control deck. And yes, like Victory Strike is stupid, right? Or triple strike 5 times is stupid. We get it. So it's like, yeah, you're just basically stalling to all this. But like, there is a lot that goes into that, right? There's a lot of decision making that has to go into that. That if you don't handle your business correctly, you just lose. If you go up against the wrong matchup, you just lose. You go against aggro, you could lose. Now, more than ever, you could lose. Like, this is basically this errata sets Invoker all the way back to turn 3 to being effective. And I just kind of see it as that is where it's going to be. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on it. I'm not a fan. I think I just think it's too soon. And I'm okay with Invoker being in the meta and relevant. And I think that, like, they said something about, like, set 19 until set 19. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Like, you mean 2 sets from now? Like, what are we getting in 2 sets that's, like, even relevant to you hitting MVP right now? I don't know. Well, we are hitting this for future card design 2 sets away. What? What's coming that you need to do this to this now? Like, what? How does that even make sense? I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me when I saw that. But all that to say, I think that MVP, it's too soon of a hit. I don't think it's fair. I think there's a bunch of people that after Legends won with the deck, went out and spent like $500 and then now are like literally out like $300 some because I think it's already down to like 40 some bucks or $50. It's still a really good card. It gives it gives your leader combo power, and to also be honest, like it gives Invoker it gives Invoker to the leader in a way that your opponent can't really interact with it. So I'm okay with it. Yeah. in this video, I just want to make an ending announcement that I'm going to make a breakdown of the decks affected. We're going to do KP, Gogeta Xeno, and Black / Overwhelm in general on one. And then we're going to talk about, in another video, we're going to talk about Descendant of the King, its impact, and then like basically like what you can kind of do to replace that in certain decks. And then number 3, we're going to talk about Soul Striker, and I think 17 can kind of just be left to the wayside to talk about, just because I just thought about it and like mulled it over. Like I said, I have my mixed feelings. I probably should have like gathered my thoughts a little bit about the card, but like I was trying to like see it from their perspective, like, because my initial thought was like, my initial reaction, like, and then I slept on it, and then like in making the video was like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. The card has been out for like a month and a half and has not seen any play or any relevance until the one guy that we know plays the deck literally every single tournament just, you know, showed up and won one tournament, and we haven't had any like time to solve that problem, right? Like there haven't been an event, like another event, right, where Invoker is like more popular because other people are like, oh my god, that was really good, like I want to play it now. And then like gone off, got the cards that they needed, just spent $500 on it, and then people started mulling over possible ways to counter it, or what to do, or how to be more aggressive, or how to play through it, or things like that. You know, so that was the thing that I just didn't like about it. But, you know, mulling it over, like, and this is the other thing, if Gogeta Xeno didn't get hit the way that it did, this would have been one of the worst hits in the history of Dragon Ball. Like, it would have been. And so here's why. Because now you're basically saying Invoker had to withstand 3 turns against Gogeta Xeno. How on earth is it going to withstand 3 turns against Gogeta Xeno? Like, I will give any aggro deck its props and due against Invoker. But I'm not going to give a turn 1 thwarting, turn 2, you know, Homeboy Marvelous Might, in the following onslaught at turn 3, and then they have to like tap 3 for this guy, and then untap a whole bunch of energy and hope just to play with what they're going to do when, like I said, the 1-drops have deflect and everything. I'm not going to sit here and act like they even have a remote chance of winning. Like, there's no way with this errata that Invoker with this card has a remote chance of winning. And I'll tell you something else. Because Gogeta Xeno's gone, Fearless Fusion may see less play, pending, you know, other strategies. So this would not have like, Invoker just would have outright died because Gogeta Xeno would flat run it over. Cell might now just completely run this deck over. I don't know, but either way, those are my thoughts on this ban list. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the future videos. The other ones are going to be way more well thought out because I already have like all the thoughts written down about what I want to do and say about them. But all that to be said, I hope you guys enjoyed this ban list as much as I did. Full claps. I'm not really sure if I think there's things that could still be done about it. I don't know why Rebrand got bought out to like $70 for the draft box edition, but it did. Maybe there's a future deck coming out that I don't know about, but don't spend $70 on a Rebrand. That's really bad. And I don't think Hand Destruction is going to be good anytime soon. Saiyan Instincts is still at 4. Doboro's still at 4. And lots of decks draw cards now. You're not really doing anybody a disservice but yourself by playing it. But Green Brawly is pretty good. So that's fair. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And this is Alex with TCG Discussion signing off. Laters.